Hello, hello, my lovely friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just going to do a really quick face-to-face introduction with you. Don't pay attention to my hair. I just had my roots done on Monday. What's today? Thursday. And so there's always that sort of awkward time. I don't know about you if you find that, but sometimes it takes a few days for your hair to settle. Anyways, mine is clearly having issues settling. But anyways, yeah, today's video, focus, focus. Today's video is sort of a part 2 to the video that I did the other day about purchasing digitals from Etsy, why I love them, why I can't live without them. And this video is about how to download and open the files once you've purchased them. So I talk about 3 different types of files in particular. One is called a JPEG file, one is called a zip file, and one is a PDF file. File sort of redundant after PDF, but anyways. I go through the process of showing you how I transfer the files onto my hard drive. I am using my desktop computer. Now, just a little sidebar. I'm using rented lips. I'm using Windows 7, which I know is really old, but I don't want to buy a new Windows program till I buy a new computer. And my computer's doing great. And so, anyways, that's a whole other story. But I'm using Windows 7. You might be using something a lot better than that. So Windows 10 or Windows 11 even is going to be a little bit different because I had to put Adobe Acrobat Reader, which is how you open up a PDF file. I think those things are automatically included now. And if you have a Mac, I got a hair here. If you have a Mac, it'll be a little bit different as well. So I apologize that this is, I was going to say it's sort of limited in scope, but really the intention behind this video is to give you an idea as a beginner of what to expect when you purchase files, digital files on Etsy, and the different kinds of files that will be delivered to you potentially, and how you go about opening them. So think of it more as just a sort of an overview, because everybody's computer is going to be different depending on what programs you have, whether you're using a Mac computer, like I said, whether you're on a tablet or a phone. So this is just sort of a general, this is how you do it. Because I think the key thing really with this video is that it's not difficult. It can seem like it's intimidating, especially if you're somebody who doesn't consider yourself to be tech savvy. You don't have to be tech savvy, really, to open up any of these files. Anything else that you've opened on your computer and printed off, this is just the same. So it just might feel a little bit intimidating or seem like it can be confusing, but once you do it a few times, you'll realize that it's really not out of your wheelhouse at all, and that you can totally do this. And that really was the point behind this, is to show you that it's simple, because I really, really hope that if you're somebody who wants to use digital files, and maybe you are, let's say, over 30, and you're like, well, I want to use digital files, but I feel like I'm too, oh God, I don't want to say it, too old, or you're not computer smart, or whatever it is. That's just not true. You can do this. And I say in the other video, if you are struggling and you know somebody who is under 30, ask them to help. So yes, so I purchased some files at the end of the last video, which I will link that video down below just in case you want to watch it. And there's some crazy, amazing digital files on Etsy. I mean, if you're interested at some point, I could even just do a, you know how people do a journal with me video and you flip through? We could do a shop for digital videos, where we shop for digital files together that I need to buy. That would be kind of fun, actually. Maybe we'll do that sometime. Let me know in the comments if that floats your boat, that idea floats your boat at all. Yeah, anyhow. It's simple, it's fun. Whether you are into flowers, whether you are into polka dots, goth, steampunk, dark grungy stuff, bright beautiful stuff, neon stuff, vintage stuff, modern stuff, new stuff, it's all out there. It's all out there. So no matter what kind of junk journaling you're doing or art journaling, you know, if it's for pen pals, these digitals are great for sending stuff to your pen pals and sharing with pen pals. You print it out, you know, like I printed out some tags. You know, this would be a great thing to cut up and put string in it and pop a couple of these in an envelope and send them to a pen pal or a friend who also likes journaling with pretty cards. It's so good for Happy Mail. This paper that we got from Artie Mays, again, you know, you could rip it in half and include it in a pack of Happy Mail for your friend, pen pals. I bought these envelopes that I made, or no, well, I did make them, but not really. I cut them and I glued them together. But how much fun to take a printable envelope and then fill it full of some good stuff, right? And send that to a friend or a pen pal. Writing paper. I have a ton of writing paper in my Etsy shop. The link to my Etsy shop is down below. I mean, how much fun is it to print out letter writing paper at home? I love it. I can't get enough of it, right? So, I mean, everything's out there. So we got cute things. We've got tickets. No, tags. Labels. You can't be smart and pretty every day, as my grandmother used to say. Labels. Yeah, so, you know, if you had friends and you like to swap stuff, cut out a bunch of labels, put them in your envelope for some Happy Mail. I mean, it goes on and on. It goes on and on, my friends. It is a ridiculous amount of fun. So, this is sort of the first time I've done a video this long about opening up files. So I hope you found it helpful. Like I said at the end, if you have any questions, please let me know. If I can't help you, I'm sure we can find a video that can help you. And sometimes you just have to watch these things a few times in order to get the hang of it. The other thing I wanted to mention that I didn't say in the video while we were on the computer is don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid of... I know when I first started, I sort of had this little bit of a hang up when printing digitals that I didn't want to waste my ink. And yes, ink can be expensive, but I also think it's important to mention that whatever you print out of your printer, if it doesn't look right, just rip it up, cut it up, and use it in collage work, use it for other things. There's no mistakes unless your printer totally will not print color, and then that's a different situation for a different video. But you can experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment with some of your printer settings if you want to print something smaller or bigger. Just remember, whatever settings you change, if you don't want to keep them there, obviously go back and put the settings for how you had them at the very beginning, because I have made that mistake. and yeah, anyways, experiment. Give yourself a little bit of space and wiggle room to play around and play with different papers. Yeah, you know, it's a whole new, it's fun. It's just a lot of fun. So I really hope you'll give it a go. That's it. That's all I got for the intro. So without any further ado, let's just get onto the computer. And so like I said, we're going to talk about JPEGs, PDFs, zip files. They're all super easy. It's just a matter of practicing and understanding what happens where and why. And yeah, that's it. So thanks again, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so this is part 2 of diving into some digital information. In the last video, I bought these files, and if you didn't watch that video where I go on and talk about what kind of digital files are available and sort of beginner ins and outs of digitals and whys, and I'll link that video down below, so you maybe want to watch that first if you are a beginner, but maybe you're just looking how to open up JPEG files and a PDF file and a zip file. So maybe you'll find this helpful. So thanks for coming by, and let's just get started. Okay, so we bought, let's start with the easy ones, because in the last video I really do talk a lot about how I think that JPEG, just purchasing JPEG files and getting started that way can be the simplest and less crazy making way of getting files onto your computer. So you just click the download, and somewhere on your computer, like wherever you want to save your files. So I tend to save them by days or months, and then I move files around. But that's a different story. So here you're gonna, so here I've opened it up on May the 3rd. I created a file to save these in. You could save it right on your desktop if you wanted. Wherever you feel comfortable, wherever you're gonna remember where you put them. So we've got our file name here, and it's just as simple as hitting save. Then you click the next one, and you can see here that this file, the one that you just saved, is already going to show up, so that you haven't had to open anything else. All you're doing is literally clicking on and saving and download here. And then, so when I open up my folder, here we go. There are the 3 pockets that I purchased in the last video. Now, if you click on one of these, and if you're somebody that doesn't want to open them up, now I'm doing this obviously on a desktop, a PC desktop. It might be a little bit different for Mac, so I apologize if things look a little bit different, but the processes itself is pretty much the same. So you just click on this, double click maybe, here we go. Sometimes I do these things and they're so automatic that I don't question it, I just do it. It's like you're just on automatic pilot. So I was like, oh, 1 click or 2 clicks. So here we have our pocket. If we hit print, so this pocket is going to print. I have it set up here for just regular 8 by 10. You could change, let's see if we do 4 by 6. That makes it a little bit bigger. You'll have to play around with whatever size. But in the interest of just keeping things simple and just literally so it's print and click so that you can enjoy it and start working with it right away, I'm just going to go over and make sure. I want to print this on cardstock. So let me just put, so I'm just going to hit print. And let's go and pick that up. Okay, so here we have what we just printed out. Sorry, the lighting here is a little bit crappy, so the color doesn't look great, but in real life it looks fantastic, just so you know. This isn't a reflection of this woman's work, it's just a reflection of my bad lighting. Now, you'll notice that this pocket is quite large. So that's another video to talk about resizing files. And I'm not going to go there because I don't want to confuse anybody. I just want you to be able to see that it literally is as simple with a lot of these things as just click, save, open, print, right? Now, this is a pretty big pocket. Oh, you know what it is? Ah, now that I see it, I was thinking that what I was going to do was cut this and use this almost as a half page in my journal. But because I wasn't paying attention, you're going to fold this in half, right? You're going to cut around these little tabs. You're going to fold those under, and you're going to glue where she says glue here. Then you're folding this side around the back, so it's a pouch pocket. Oh, even better. Sometimes I don't pay attention the way I should. I was just all excited because I loved the numbers and the deep richness of it. And okay, so I'll show you what this looks like. I'll do a little PS at the end of the video. Ooh, okay, that's great. Even more exciting. So it's not as big as I thought, which is excellent. Okay, so then you would just click out of here. And then now if you wanted to print the next one, then again, you go up here, print, Bob's your uncle, you got a pocket. So that is with what is called a JPEG file, which I'll put up on the screen so you can see. It's a JPG, which means JPEG. I'm not going to go into anything technical because that's not what we're here for. This is a little bit weird. Anyways, I hope the angle isn't terrible. Okay, so that is, again, just to review, we've got our JPEG file. So she's numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see here, and it literally is click on the download, save it. I'm not going to save it because I've already saved it. And then you go and you open up your file. Okay, so you've opened up your file, and then you can see clearly on each image what it is that you're going to be printing off. Now, let's go and talk about doing a zip file. There are many ways to put several folders into one folder to save size, or sorry, to save space. Some of these files are huge, right? And they wouldn't be able to email you all of the files, or you wouldn't be able to open them on their own. So people use something called a zip folder, and it's a way of condensing files, making them smaller, and making them, basically just think of it as a way of making things more manageable. So there's two ways. There's a zip file and there's a PDF, and we will look now at doing both of those. The difference is with a zip file, as you can see here, she's giving me 4, and there will be various files in each of these. With a PDF file, everything is in one location, but it's more to manage. It's not hard, it's not difficult. You just need to know what you need to know in order to open it. That's all. Okay, so saving the zip files are the same process. So we're going to download in the same folder, and you will see at the bottom, I don't know if I... Okay, see where it's lit up here? So it's Spring Meadow 1, and it says Win RAR Zip Archive. The reason why you're not seeing any of the other files here that we just saw is because those are a different type of file. They're still in your folder, they're just not being shown. That's all. So don't worry if when you save a different kind of file and you're like, oh my god, where are the other files that I just bought? They're still there, so don't worry. Okay, so then we're gonna move this so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, I know this is a little bit awkward, and bear with me here. Okay, so save. Then we're gonna go download again. And you'll notice here, Spring Meadow 2. Save. Download. So see at the top, we've got the 2 zip files. Now, I've used a thing called WinRAR Zip Archive. Your computer might have something different. If you're using a newer Windows version, like Windows 10 or Windows 11, it will probably automatically open these for you. I'm still on the archaic system of Windows 7. So yours might be a little bit easier than mine, but this gives you an idea of how using a zip file works. Okay, so now we've got number 3. And we're going to save number 4. And then here, this is a JPEG, so when we go to click on this, because it's a JPEG, it says here, see, here are the other JPEG files that we bought today. So you're going to save that there. Then we are going to go here and open up. This is, I guess, what she's given us here is a preview. Okay. So we have 4 files. Now I'm going to double click on this file and it's going to open up and show me what's in this file. So here we have, oh yeah, I don't know why it keeps asking me to purchase. I have purchased. Okay, so within this one file here, hang on, let me move this again for you. Within that file, you can see there's 3 files there. So now, what I do to get these 3 out and drag them over into my folder here on my desktop so I can use them, I am going to click on it, hit the Shift key, and then I'm going to use the downward arrow button, like that. And then I'm going to drag these over. And then you're going to see that these files open. The other thing that you can do is, if you don't have a lot of space on your hard drive and you have you've got to be careful with, these files are very large, so that's why they're in these. What you can do is you come back over here, click on it, it's loading, and you can print it off from here, but remember this is 12 by 12, so you're going to lose some of it if you're printing 8 by 10. But you can do the exact same process that what we did when we printed off these envelopes. You're just going to open print, and it's going to give you the preview of what you're printing. Okay, and this is asking for another different printer. I'm not going to print this off right now. Fit picture to fit frame. So you're going to need to check on some of your things here. So what kind of paper? You just leave it with plain paper. Quality, auto, standard. You could change it. I never do. Again, it's just for me. I'm not fancy. I'm not a fancy person. But depending on what you're doing, if you want a better quality print, which is fine, just be aware that it will take a little bit more ink. And it also depends on what kind of paper you're using. But in the interest of keeping this for very simple reasons, for very simple things, let's just leave what it's showing you, right? We just want to get you to the place where you can open and print. So if you don't want to drag all the files because these are very large and save it in a folder, you can leave them in the zip file, sorry. So I'm going to cancel that for right now. We'll click on this one, double click, right, again. So if you wanted to print it, you know, I have cardstock in there, so let's just print this. So we've got 1 copy, picture to frame, 8 by 10. Let's just print it. Let's throw caution to the wind and see what happens. Okay, so, sorry, I'm jiggling you around here a little bit. Here, again, the color, this lighting does not do this justice at all. So, it's gorgeous. I love this print. Now, you will notice here, what it's done is it's printed it landscape, not portrait. So that just has to do with my settings. So if we go here, print, So here, see where the highlighted thing is here? It says full page, and it's showing you that it's going in the landscape direction. Again, this is an older version of Windows. Yours might be different. They give you some options here, how you could print it if you wanted to, right? But, I mean, again, even for some reason, I mean, this is a gorgeous page. I'm more than happy to cut this and use this and add this to my journal. It's beautiful. So just click out. And then again, you would double click there. It's going to load it for you. And then you would just hit print and do the exact same thing. So there's a couple ways to do this. So that's just the first zip file. So you've got the option to leave these things in your zip file. The downside to doing this is that you don't know what's in this file because you can't see it. But the upside is that you're going to save yourself quite a bit of space on your hard drive if you don't have a lot of room for big files. So you can see these three here, no, four, no, three. One was what she added at the end. These are the three files that came out of the first one. So now let's open the second one. There's only two in here. So it's that paper. Oh, that's beautiful. And that, oh, that's so pretty. It's like Christmas. Opening them up. So because I want to put them on my actual computer, on my hard drive, I'm going to highlight them and drag them over here. Now what I do, because I have everything, I have a ton of space on my hard drive, I am eventually going to delete these because I've opened them up and I've dragged out of them what's in them. So I don't need them here. Okay, so I'm going to close that one. So that was number 2. I'm going to open number 3. There's 2 files in this one. If you're using a newer program, there's a good chance that it's going to do this for you. But I'm really resisting buying a new Windows program. I'm waiting until I have to buy a whole new computer if I'm honest. Okay, so then we're going to take these 2 files, stop, and we'll drag them here. So then I'm going to delete this because I don't need it. If you do not want to drag and drop the files, save them. And there we have it. So there's the beautiful, beautiful watercolor flowers. I'm really happy with those. And then we just go here and close this. Now, one thing that's important to note, if I refresh here, once you've purchased these files, they're yours forever and ever. Amen. Here you can see it says that I've downloaded these files on May the 4th. And it also tells the seller as well that you've downloaded them. Sometimes, not very often, but every once in a while I have somebody buy a file from me and they don't open it for weeks. And you just wonder what's going on. But I will say I have purchased files and kind of forgotten, which I know is terrible. But anyways, and again, you can see here that I've downloaded them. Now, let's say you've bought these files and then you put them somewhere on your computer and you can't find them and you don't know what's going on. You're like, where the heck are those spring meadow flowers? You can go into your purchases. So here we are. So see, here's Lisa and purchases. Now this might change at some point if Etsy changes how this looks, but you will always find your purchases underneath your name. If you click on the purchases, it will bring all the purchases, downloads, and actual things that you've bought, and you can go in and you can find those files that you bought and you can download them again. There isn't a rule that says that you can't download. So again, I just hit and save. You're like, oh, I totally forgot where I put that. Well, you can see there's that file that I just deleted it, but I've downloaded it. So just so you know, if you forget where you put a file, you can always go back into your Etsy purchases and find them again. So yeah, I do this all the time. I forget where. I have so much stuff on my computer. I'm like, where did I put it? Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to show you, lastly, how to open up a PDF file of a file that I bought yesterday from Artie Mays. So let me open that up in my purchases, and we'll show you that one. Okay, so here we have the files that I bought from Artie Mays yesterday. I bought something called Wallpaper Samples for Tearing Collage Set 1. Now you can see that I've already downloaded these yesterday, but I'm going to download them again so you can see how it works. So when you look at the files that I've purchased from her, you will see one PDF file, a zip file, and a zip file. So this is Wallpaper Samples 1.pdf. Here is Wallpaper Samples 1.zip. And this is Wallpaper Samples 2.zip. So there are a lot of files in this kit that I bought from her, as you will see in a minute. When you have a PDF file, everything is in that one PDF file. As you could see from the last time when we opened up zip files, she's probably put half of this kit in this file and half in the other file. So when you get when you're getting zip files, you're getting it so that you're going to be opening up various files in each zip file. A PDF is a way of keeping all the files together. Okay? So let's download. And you can see you'll see it says save type file Adobe Acrobat document. A PDF file is just a way of, it's just a file name. I looked it up actually the other day because I was like, I don't really even know what PDF means. PDF. Portable document format. And it will open up, you need the Adobe Acrobat Reader to open that up. There are a ton of videos on YouTube about this. It's easy to do. What is in a PDF file? All the elements of a printed document as an electronic image, so you can go in and view and scroll down and you see what's in it. So yeah, I'm not going to go into this now just because it would be a whole other can of worms. I just wanted you to know that a PDF file does the same thing for you as a zip file. It's just in a different format. If you have to download Adobe Acrobat onto your computer, if you have a new computer, you probably don't have to. But if you do, there are a lot of videos on YouTube that will tell you how to do that. Okay, so we've downloaded that one. Now we're going to do the zip files. So the thing is, she's given you the option, right? So you can, if you don't want to go through the hassle of opening up Adobe Acrobat and using Adobe Acrobat, and your computer will open up a zip file for you, then don't even bother. You don't have to download this. That's up to you. Or you can decide, you can figure out which one you like better and then delete the ones that you're not going to use. But what is in this PDF file is in both, oops, all of that is also in these zip files. And I'll show you. So here we have it. You can see Wallpaper Samples 1 PDF. Then we have Wallpaper Samples 1 in a zip. And here is Wallpaper Samples 2 in a zip. Okay, so let's open up, because you kind of, actually no, let's do the zip files first, because you're a little bit familiar with that. And then I'll just show you the number of files that are in these. So let's click on this. So see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in there. And if we click on this one, she's got 1, 2, 3, and then some bonus tags here. So what did I say? 11. So she's got 14 plus the bonus tags, which makes 13 files. So between these two zip files, she's given us 17 files to open. Now, this looks a little bit different. When you double click, hello Lucy, when you double click on this, you can see barely, let me see if I move my, can you see that a little bit better? Yeah, right up here, you see how it says 1 of 17? So that's how you know that we have 17 files in this, just like we had 17 files in these two files combined. We've got a little slider here, and we're going to slide this up and down so you can see the files that are in here. And then you will have the option to print. You see this little printer lights up when you hover over it? You will have the ability to print from here as well. But let's just have a look at what's in this kit. So you'll notice too that when you click on here, it's telling you you're looking at page 1 of 17. And then as you scroll, oops, and you click, that's, no, hang on here. There's page, and you can see it up here as well, 2 of 17. And then you scroll down once more, voila, 3 of 17. 4 of 17. Lucy's trying to say hi. Okay, wait, no, you're jiggling the nice ladies around. You're jiggling everybody around. Hang on. I know. We'll have hugs in a minute, okay? Because this video is getting long. Mommy's got to hurry up and get it and stop yakking. Okay, here's 4 of 17, 5. I don't know if I can tip this down a little bit more so that... I'm trying not to... 5 of 17, right up here, right? So you're going to see it change. 6 of 17, 7, 17, 8, 9, 10, oops, I skipped one, there's 11, oops, there's 12, there's 13, there's 14, there's 15, 16, 17. There's some fussy cuts at the end. Okay, so all of the files that we've purchased from this big kit with these papers in it are all in here. You just scroll up and down to find the one that you want to use. Now, if you click on at the top, right, and you click on your printer, it's going to open up. Okay, now let me just here do this. So it's going to give you a bunch of options, and these are things that you will need to play with depending on the files, depending on what you want to use when, etc., etc. It says here, pages to print. Right now, the little blue is in all. If I was to hit this now, it would print all 17 pages. If you click on current, it's going to print what you see right here in this box and nothing else. If you decided you wanted the first 4 pages, you would click here where it says pages, and then you would type in 1 to 4. Okay, it's here, it's showing that it's printing in landscape. Okay, and here it's saying it's going to fit onto the page. There are all kinds of things here that you can change in sizing and handling, but if you just want to print, which is what my intention is to show you how to do, just what you're seeing in this box, then just leave it at fit. And again, you can learn as you go, and you can change things. You can find out there's all kinds of different things that you can do in the settings. You can print with borderless, so you don't have the little white bits down the side. There's all kinds of things you do. Personally, I don't play around with my printer settings a whole lot. I'm pretty happy with just printing as is. Okay? Now, let's just cancel this. Let's scroll down and be like, oh, I want to print that because that's what I want to work with today. I don't want everything in there. I don't know why that keeps going to grayscale. So, why is it not showing? Hey, current. Aha, see? So, because currently we were on this really pretty peach color, I've hit current. That's what it's going to print. Okay? So it's showing you here, it's going to print, where's, no, I want to, somewhere it should say it's, oh, copies 1 up here. Okay? So you're just getting 1 of this. If you wanted to print 3 of these, because you really love it and you want to work more with it, then you can add how many copies you want. Okay? Again, if you're like, oh, I want to print these 2 side by side, then you go up to your printer icon. I really hate, oh, that it's doing that. Current here. Okay? And there you have your page again, and you're going to be doing 1 copy. So that is what it looks like when you're using an Adobe Acrobat. Oh, I guess I'm just going to print that out. Okay, well, let's have a look. I've babbled on this long. Let's see what it looks like. Hang on. I love it. 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 Again, I'll show you what these files look like very quickly at the end, so you can see that the color is really great. But I'm going to love using this in my journal. I could even make little envelopes out of this. This is great. Okay, so I hope that helps you understand a little bit of the differences. So with a PDF, let's go back here again. You're just downloading this, you are just downloading 1 file, just like we did with the JPEG files. The only difference is that, of course, within this 1 file are all of your files. So depending on the digitals that you've purchased, you might find that there's 4 pages. You might find there's 100 pages. It just depends on what you've purchased. So now, just for fun, I will open these up and I will show you, as I drag and drop from these 2 zip files, that everything that we looked at in here is in here. Okay, so stop that. So here we go. So shift, downward key. Now I just do it like that because it's faster. Oops. Okay, so here you can see these are the files that we looked at. Let me move this up here. Right? Here's the one we just printed. And these were all in this zip file. Okay? So now let's open up the second zip file. Now, if you don't want to, for some reason, if you just want to drag them over one at a time, all you do is click on it so that it's highlighted. Click, hold, drag, and drop. And there it is. So it's just a little bit more finagly because you're gonna do them one at a time. But there's nothing wrong with doing it like this. Sometimes, it depends. Sometimes I do it this way because I'm not gonna use all the files that have been given to me. It's just a matter of preference. It's just what eventually you get used to doing. Okay? And then see, there are the fussy cuts that were at the end of the other, when we looked in the PDF file. So everything that I have dragged from here, these all are exactly as what's in here. So if you prefer to use this, if you already have this on your computer or your device, this is a really handy way to go because everything is in one file. So if you get used to using PDFs, then by all means, just delete these zip files because you don't need them. On the other hand, if you find it cumbersome, especially if there's a lot of files in one PDF file, then stick with the zip files. I tend to prefer zip files, but I also have a ton of space on my computer. So I have a lot of room on my hard drive to hold large files like this. You know, it's just a matter of working through the kinks and figuring out what works best for you with the device that you have, how you like to organize your files. One quick thing that I will show you before we go, because I don't want to go on and on forever, I am going to show you how I store my paper. I have bought way too much digital, actual just paper, not tags, not envelopes, but paper to use when I'm designing my postcards and other things. But I'll just show you how I've organized them and why using the files and extracting them out of the zip files works so well for me. So hang on just one sec. Okay, so this is my papers. Let me just see if I can there. These are files that are full of digital papers that I've purchased over the years. And like I said, this is just paper. This isn't kits, tags. This is just paper. So I like to open them up out of zip files, and then I have them here so I can see. So while I'm working on my postcards and I'm looking for different backgrounds to use, then everything's right there in front. I'm not opening and closing zip files. I'm not opening and closing Adobe files or PDF files. Everything that I need is just there. So for me, that works out really well because, as you can see, I have a lot. I love me some digital paper. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, so I've got Halloween striped paper, I've got other Halloween, I got all kinds of paper. And I tend, when I buy packs like this, I tend to open up what I think I'm going to use the most. The files, like these files, these little sort of bookmark type shapes, I might delete those or keep them in these zip files because chances are of me using them are pretty slim. You know, I've got this cracked wood type stuff. What else? So we've got handwriting in different colors, which I think is really fun. So that's part of why using a zip file works really well for me, because I need to see what I've got because there's so much of it. Got stripes, gingham, polka dots. Pretty crazy. So the other thing that I can quickly show you is then how I save my files by season. So give me 1 second and I'll pull that up. Okay, so here we have the files that I have put together. So we've got autumn, Christmas, Easter, Halloween, spring, and Valentine's. Because this way I find that when I buy digitals that are seasonal, it's a lot easier for me to find them, really. I don't know how, it's just that simple. Halloween, I have a ton of things that I've purchased for Halloween, and so I categorize them in different ways again so that it's easier to find. So where's let's look here, Halloween paper. So I've extracted all of these different files. So here you can see, if I click on this PDF, so see here, oops, hang on, no, you can't see because I haven't moved this. Here, up here, we got one of 8. So these are some grungy papers that I purchased. But I didn't open them all because probably what I was after was only 1 or 2 files, right? So that's why that's still there. So it really just comes down to a matter of preference and what it is that you're needing and why. These were Creepy People files that I bought. So that was a JPEG. So there's 9 images on the one sheet. So those were super fun. I love Halloween. Anyways, I won't go on and on. There's some Easter. This is a JPEG as well that I purchased. And so you would get these 8 little tags. You would just print it off and cut them. If you see this ATC, ATC stands for Artist Trading Card. And these are usually, I forget the size. I want to say 2.5 by 4, I think, which is a pretty standard size. So this was the name of the file that I purchased. So she's given it a bunch of numbers. Easter ATC page. So that's Easter Artist Trading Card. Just so you know. So yeah, so that's it. I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, if you have any things that you're not sure about, let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to help you. If I can't help you, perhaps I can send you in the direction of a YouTuber who can. So I'm going to quickly turn the camera around. I'm going to make this pocket, and I'm going to show you these two in better lighting. And yeah, then I'm going to sign off. So hang on just one second. Okay, so just quickly, here is the envelope. It turned out great. Super cute. I love it. I love it. So yeah, it was really easy to do, and I really like the color and the grunginess of it. I probably wouldn't ink around the edges at all. But anyways, so that's just so you can see. So then I've got the other 3 that I can make, and I'm super excited about that. Now, here we have the watercolor flowers that we printed out. Oh, beautiful. I will say that with some of these papers, it is, they come out a little bit nicer on cardstock because there is so much color. And because there is so much color in ink, if you print them on regular paper, you need to let the paper dry a little bit. But again, that is just a personal preference. Oops, I don't want it to get, there we go. Oh, these are going to be great. I'm really looking forward to using all of those in my junk journal. And I mean, what an amazing deal. What did we pay for those? $4 or something? So I got 10 pages, 10 beautiful papers. I mean, I know. Okay, so then here's the last one that we did from Artie Mays. And this one's beautiful too. The possibilities are endless, right? It can be pockets. It could be an envelope. It could be a journal page. It could, you know, fold it in half and we could turn it into, oops, sorry, turn it into a little bit of a booklet. Yeah. Anyhow, I hope that you found that helpful, truly. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and watching the video. And I really hope that those explanations were clear and helpful. I know things can be a little bit different depending on the type of computer that you're using, the programs that you have. But there's a lot of information on YouTube. So if something's not working for you and I can't help you, I'm sure somebody else out there in YouTube land can help you for sure. So thanks again for being on this journey with me. I really appreciate it. And happy journal purchasing. And yeah, I hope that you find some real gems out there. Take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you soon.